And hello, it's me, Edward German, host of the 1950s science fiction podcast. Doing a little experimental video cast here from my home. In the background, you can see the Tree of Life painting that hangs in our dining room area. And just doing a little ad lib, unedited raw video and audio footage here, just to let you know that more recent podcast is out on Target Earth and on the short story to Deadly City. Took me, about maybe 3 months to complete. Just been real busy here, a new home and family, and just sometimes just don't have all the time I like to podcast and record and whatnot. But I'm just checking out this whole Riverside video podcast thing. I finally got some technical issues worked out with Spotify. And I will be probably working on another segment for the Starpod Log podcast, which I've been doing some contributions to on 50 Sci-Fi. Articles that are in the archive, internetarchive.org from Starlog that pertain to the 50s. The host of the podcast have asked me to contribute every now and then. It's about maybe my third or fourth contribution. Let's see, I think it's my fourth. Well, be sure to tune into that. I'll try to have another podcast episode out as soon as I possibly can. I'm not sure what topic yet. Anyone is free to suggest topics and through just feedback and contact. I always put my email address is utcgrad97@gmail.com. Follow me on social media. My biggest social media is Twitter. Follow me at Edward German 3 on Twitter. Then Instagram, Shutterbug 1681 is the user handle. It's on Instagram. I promote my podcast most of the time, and go to the profile. You'll get a link to the Anchor FM podcast page. And then there's Vocal Media. I've been on Vocal Media for the past 5 years. I've written articles. When you go to my podcast, you click on the icon for web, and it'll take you to a web page. It includes the articles related to the podcast, as well as previous articles I've written on other subjects, including podcast. My most read article is on podcast. I listened to in the past. Well, actually, radio programs I listened to in the past, but they're now in podcast form. Back in the 70s, there was a old time radio revival that even I listened to, and some radio shows that were created, kind of cash in on the wave of nostalgia. Be sure to read. It's called the Old Time Radio Revival on Vocal Media, the Geeks community. Just simply go to Vocal Media, you can look at my name, author is Edward German, and you can go to my profile page and you'll be able to find it. I've got over 50 some odd articles there, including all the podcast shows, a written transcript with extras and a podcast player embedded in the web page. So please be sure to check that out. I'd greatly appreciate it. Also have a YouTube channel. I don't know the URL for that. I'm supposed to have the opportunity to select a new URL handle for that, but it should be under mine. Just look under Edward German and look up the 1960s science fiction podcast on the search bar. I'm sure you'll find my YouTube channel that way too. Let's see. What social media I'm active on? Mostly it's Twitter, Instagram, then maybe YouTube, and Reddit. I have a Reddit page. Reddit handle is Spaceman1965. I do have a subreddit there. says I think it's like sci-fi podcast listeners, I believe. It's a play on something I did for Google for the Google Plus network. Everybody remembers that. I was actually active on it at one time. Well, anyway, feedback's appreciated. I do love seeing my podcast grow. It's got over 2,500 listens, streams, or however they measure that so far after just over 2 years. Um, you know, I'll try doing some more of these video casts, experimental video casts, and post it. All right. Again, just feel free to follow me on social media. And I never ask for any kind of financial contributions. That's entirely up to the listener. I do make a little bit of money off advertising, but this is mostly a hobby. I'm not a professional, just an amateur enthusiast. I have a lifelong passion for sci-fi. And I chose to specialize in the 1950s because I kind of grew up on watching those movies on Saturday afternoon, like a lot of older generation folks. Back when back to the days when there was only 3 channels on TV. Anybody remembers that? All right, well, that is all for now. Thanks for listening. Please feel free to check me out on social media, especially vocal media. I appreciate that as well. Hit some of those articles. I've got articles on other subjects other than 1950s, book reviews, movie reviews, just other articles when I did my own research and went in depth. It's like the overgrown term paper for high school or college, but you just judge for yourself. I mean, I'm not a professional, but I try to rate myself on good content. So, and well, when I was in college, when I was graded on research papers, the professor said I had good content. So there you go. All right. Thanks for listening, and we will catch you. I'll do this another time, and please keep listening. Oh, okay, that went on a little longer than I thought. Here's a better outro. Let's see.